So let's talk about something a lot of people feel but don't really talk about, that weird social friction that can happen when you have a highly analytical mind. We're going to break down why being brilliant can sometimes, unintentionally, intimidate just about everyone around you.
You know the feeling, right? Picture this. You're in a meeting, maybe a classroom, or just hanging out with friends. Everyone's talking about something, and you see it. That one connection or that one tiny flaw in the logic that everyone else is missing. So you ask a question, and bam, silence. Every single eye is on you.
And here's the thing about that silence. It's not because your question was weird or off topic. It's the exact opposite. Your question was so on point, so direct, that it just sliced through all the noise and left everyone else scrambling to catch up to where your brain already is. And that feeling, that sense of being just a little out of sync with everyone else's train of thought, that's what so many incredibly smart people deal with every single day. It's not about showing off, not at all. It's literally just how your brain is wired. And that's the heart of what we're going to unpack today. All right, first up, let's talk about a trait I like to call the pattern predictor. This is all about that almost psychic ability to absorb a ton of information and see the final outcome almost instantly.
See, for most of us, when we're solving a problem, it's like following a recipe. It's a very linear process. You start at A, you work through the steps to get to B, and then you move on to C. It's methodical, it's comfortable, and it makes sense.
But if you're a pattern predictor, your brain just doesn't work that way. It takes in point A, instantly sees the entire underlying pattern, and just leaps straight to D. You didn't skip B and C to be lazy. Your mind processed them so fast they were practically invisible.
In this right here, this is exactly where that social friction kicks in. Your intention is just about efficiency. You see the answer and you want to get there. But to somebody who needs to walk through steps B and C, it feels like you're just blowing past them. It can look like you're being arrogant, when really you're just trying to help.
All right, so let's move on to our second trait, which builds on this idea. I call this one the deep diver. This isn't about how fast you think, it's about how deep you go. While everyone else is focused on the how, you're the one asking why. So, a new project gets started. The room is full of all these very practical, very important questions about logistics and execution. What's the deadline? What's the budget? These are the questions about getting things done.
And then there's you. You put your hand up, and you're not asking about the budget or the timeline. You ask this huge, fundamental question. You want to make sure the whole reason for the project is solid before anyone does a single bit of work. To you, that's just logical.
And this slide just nails the disconnect. Your whole goal is strategic. You want to save everyone from wasting time on the wrong problem. But to the rest of the team who are ready to get going, it feels like you're throwing a wrench in the gears, questioning the people in charge, and making everything way more complicated.
And that leads us right into our third and final trait, the factual analyst. This is that skill of being able to stay objective and focus on the data, especially when things get emotional.
Now, to be clear, this isn't about being a robot or not having feelings. Think of it more like a tool you use for solving problems. It's the ability to kind of hit pause on all the panic, or the excitement, or the office politics, and just ask, okay, but what do the facts actually tell us?
For a factual analyst, the fastest way to a real solution is through the objective truth. I mean, this quote says it all. Objectivity isn't cold. It's clear. Stepping back from the emotion isn't about being mean. It's about trying to get a clear view of the problem.
But, and this is a big but, here's the issue. When someone is upset or passionate about a problem, a lot of times what they want is for someone to say, I hear you, that sounds frustrating. But when you jump in with pure data, focusing on what is, it could feel like you're totally dismissing how it feels. You think you're solving the problem, they feel like you're ignoring them.
So let's kind of zoom out and put all three of these pieces together. You've got the pattern predictor, the deep diver, and the factual analyst. When you look at them all at once, you start to see a picture emerge. This isn't about someone trying to be intimidating.
The intimidation factor isn't something you're doing on purpose. It really just comes down to a mismatch. From the outside, it looks like you're too fast, you're too deep, you're too objective. It's a difference in how you process the world, the speed, the depth, and what you prioritize. And if any of this has felt familiar to you, this right here is the most important takeaway. Your way of thinking is not a character flaw. It's the natural result of a brain that is just wired for efficiency, for finding truth, and for running on logic. You're not trying to make people feel bad. You're just thinking. And that kind of leaves us with this big, complicated question, doesn't it? For a mind that values clarity above almost anything else, there's a strange paradox. The clearer your thinking gets, the more isolated you can become. It really makes you stop and ask, what's the real value of being understood? And what's that balance worth?